Yep, there you go.
Alrighty, getting going here with Tim and Don. It's Sunday, January 26, 2013. It's been raining quite a bit. Trails are probably going to be a little muddy. I'm always pulling up the rear here with Tim. This is where I fell into this ditch about 3 months ago. Went in for an x-ray and they said my lung was enlarged, my right lung. So they sent me for a CT scan thinking it was a cancer. Come to find out it was swollen from the spill. 3 months later I go back in again. There's a problem. A CT scan. And I thought it was the cancer again. And it was, again, still leftovers from that spill. So definitely got to be careful up here. I've been doing this ride now for about 8 years. I was diagnosed in 2009 with stage 4 lung cancer, and I had been riding every day up here in the summer. And one of the things I refused to do was allow the cancer to change my lifestyle. So I continued to ride all through chemotherapy. There are times, well, this ride we're doing today would take me sometimes 6 or 7 breaks and rest to even get to the top. And that was while I was in the middle of IV chemo. But I refused to not do the ride. I really believe the exercise has kept me healthy through this process. So, in 2009, I did a month of radiation for a tumor that was blocking my right lung. I had a tumor inside my bronchus tube. Tim and I had actually, with a friend of ours, done a hike to the top of Mount Tam a week before my biopsy. It was 21 miles round trip. Took us from 11 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. And the doctor seemed to feel the only reason the tumor hadn't collapsed my lung was because of all the exercise I've been doing. So I really do believe it is a benefit. And it forces my lungs to expand. Although it is hard sometimes. After that biopsy, they started radiation. They did 15 treatments on the tumor. Their main concern was that it was going to collapse my lung. So they needed to deal with that before they started me on chemotherapy. And they had also done a needle aspiration on my left lung and realized it was also the same cancer. So that classified as stage 4. Ruled out any surgery. Okay, here we go. To save my energy. this pump. Hi. Beautiful day.
Such a beautiful day. I'm trying out for a better day.
Yeah.
I can tell you there's a couple 338, but I did long.
So after they realized it was stage 4 and surgery was impossible, they went ahead and started IV chemotherapy, which they wanted to give me Taxol and Carbo. But my good friend John Crane in my spin class had been fighting it already for a year. Same cancer, lung cancer, stage 4 also. And he suggested Carbotaxol and also a new drug, Avastin. So I kept emailing my oncologist until he added that to the mix. So I think it's not only important that you're getting the best treatment available, but also believe that you're getting the best treatment. And by getting all 3 drugs, I believe that was the best available treatment for my cancer at the time. Morning. Right? So I went ahead and did 6 rounds of IV chemo again, 4 or 5 hour infusion once every 21 days. The Avastin has a tendency to lower your platelet count. So there's times on my low days after chemo that my platelet count would drop as low as 30, which I know panicked my doctors, knowing that I was up here riding on this kind of stuff after an infusion. But a good friend of mine that's a doctor, the Kaiser, said, laughed, he said, Don, enjoy your life. He said, if you do take a spill while you're up there, he said, just don't waste any time, get on over to the ER and we'll fix you up. And that's been my attitude ever since I was diagnosed. I refused to allow the cancer to change my lifestyle. And I continue to do this. Like I say in the beginning, Tim's gone on ahead today, but when I was first doing this, when I was doing IV chemo, they would sort of hang around and wait for me. They said I looked like I was almost dead, but I was still pushing to ride up here. And I think that's the key. I think you just got to believe. You know, it is important that you have the right drugs. Believe you're getting them, but you know, attitude's a big part. Attitude, exercise. In addition to a lot of supplements, I take a plethora of supplements, probably 30 or 40 different ones. A lot of them, or most of them, to improve my immune system. Because the hardest thing with cancer, you know, some of them are targeted therapies. I'm on one now, but a lot of it's just poison, and it'll destroy your immune system. So the key is, after the chemo kills the cancer, because you need your immune system strong to fight back. So I constantly take supplements. There's also a controversy whether the supplements will interfere with your chemo. One of the major ones that I take is CoQ10. I started taking it 15 years ago. In 1998, I was diagnosed with an enlarged heart and was told that I needed, heart transplant in 1998. So I started taking it then and reversed that condition within 2 years. So when I was diagnosed with cancer, I continued to take it. I did talk to the infusion nurses. They suggested that I lay off of it 3 days before and 3 days after treatment, which I did. It's a pretty steep climb, so I take a break here. Morning. On your left.
Yeah, they're really knowledgeable.
This is the steepest part. It's funny though. I've been on Tarceva now for 3 years, and I have a hard time even working up a sweat. Okay. This is always the hardest push. Make it by here. It gets a little easier. Okay, here we go. Well, that's the hard push. Here we go. Oh, my legs. I've had to give up hiking so much because of neuropathy. My feet, from the chemotherapy, just burns too much. I find right. Okay, thank you. I find riding much easier than hiking, at least on my feet. Still requires the same exercise, energy. Whew, here we go. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. Almost there. Okay. Starts to get warm in the sun. But I know how to chill off shortly. When I get down a bit. Morning. So this is what I still do. The weather's nice. Tim and I try to get up here Saturday, Sunday, and at least a couple times during the week. And I also spin 2 times a week. So I just force my lungs to not shrivel up and collapse. I also take a supplement. It's an enzyme of moth. It's called Siri enzyme. It's supposed to help re-heal damaged lung tissue. So I've been taking that for a couple years now. It seems to be helping. But back to the CoQ10. Like I say, I've taken it 15 years probably. It reversed a heart condition, and I think it really helped me stay strong through chemo. Not too much farther. Tim will be waiting for me at the picnic table. Chemo definitely zaps your energy. Remember 8 years ago, taking Tim up here for the first time and having to wait for him. Now they wait for me, but they always joke around. We have somebody new riding, and I beat him to the picnic table. They're surprised. They're surprised that they always laugh. So here I am with stage 4 lung cancer, and I'm beating guys half my age up here that are healthy to the picnic table. So it makes me feel good. But I'm not up here competing with anybody, just myself. Just trying to stay healthy and prolong the inevitable. It's been almost 43 months, still stable. I still go in every 3 months and get checked. An X-ray if everything looks fine, CT scan if they notice anything. Trying to keep down a little bit of the exposure I've had to radiation because I've had so many of them. I'm still on Tarceva. It's been 3 years this month, 29th actually. That might be today. 3 years on Tarceva. It's a targeted therapy for non-small cell cancer, and it seems to be working. And I just thank God for every day. On your left. Oh, thank you. Okay, we're almost to the picnic table. Around the corner. It means I get a little break and drink water. Should be seeing Sam up there, either meditating or hanging out at the table. What a beautiful weekend up here in Sonoma County. Sure beats being in the snow. Can't beat it for January either. Okay, that's the end of it.